Good morning. I'm Brent Adams here with your Rural Strong Morning Ag Report for this President's Day, Monday, February 19th. Leading off the headlines this morning, the USDA's long-term projection data shows the volume of U.S. red meat exports in all major categories is projected to grow through 2033. Rising incomes abroad and a moderately declining real exchange rate for the U.S. dollar against the currencies of major agricultural trading partners lend support to U.S. red meat and poultry exports. By 2028, pork exports are set to exceed exports of broiler chickens for the first time since 1976. Steady growth in U.S. pork production, driven by a combination of increasing slaughter weights, rising pigs per litter, and higher inventories, is projected to support rapid growth in exports. New environmental policies in the European Union are expected to impact pork production and reduce the growth of EU exports, which will enhance U.S. competitiveness. U.S. pork exports are expected to increase by 34% from an expected 6.95 billion pounds in 2024 to a projected 9.34 billion pounds by 2033. Well, House ag leaders, despite their continued warring, hinted at a recent hearing that there may still be a way to achieve an 11th hour breakthrough on the Farm Bill. It was a barely noticeable hint amid all the verbal arrows he fired that maybe top ag Democrat David Scott was suggesting a way forward for the Farm Bill without GOP proposed cuts to SNAP, a top Democratic priority.
Because the economy has improved, benefits and need for the program has decreased. The CBO is now expecting SNAP to cost $67 billion less over the next decade than originally expected.
A savings that, if the Congressional Budget Office is correct and if Farm Bill negotiators can agree to use some of that for farm supports, could pave the way toward ending a year-long stalemate. House Ag Chair G.T. Thompson perhaps also hinted at ways forward and may have even held out an olive branch to the other side.
Considerable opportunities exist within our jurisdiction to not only fund the safety net, but fund a substantial number of shared bipartisan priorities. And I continue to implore my Democratic colleagues to think in earnest about these priorities that can be funded without cutting a SNAP benefit or eliminating the important conservation programs that we've all come to appreciate.
Thompson complained that Washington is filled with armchair pundits who say that a new farm bill is impossible, that politics will prevail over good policy, and that dysfunction has consumed us. But Thompson insisted that every negative comment only intensifies his commitment to the American farmer to get a farm bill done. Well, U.S. government officials provided their take on how diversification of agricultural export opportunities is taking place at the 100th USDA Ag Outlook Forum. Here with more is USDA Radio's Rod Bain.
A look at diversifying ag export opportunities to start day 2 of USDA's Agricultural Outlook Forum Friday. Examples of those efforts and their importance were discussed by dignitaries such as Secretary of State Antony Blinken by recorded remarks.
The United States is working to promote open global markets and support the free flow of goods, which is essential to get food from farms to plates. We're advocating in international organizations for science-based food safety standards, to set common guidelines, and maintain farmers' access to pesticides, veterinary drugs, biotechnology, and other innovations.
And U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai.
Secretary Vilsack and his entire team at USDA have been the best partners, teaming up to make sure that the benefits of trade make it all the way to the farm gate and that U.S. farmers, ranchers, producers, and exporters can compete on a truly level playing field.
Discussion also included examples of recent market access openings and expansions in both existing and developing nations. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
What does the USDA forecast regarding potential food prices for this year and whether the trend is toward higher or lower overall prices? Here again is Rod Bain.
Slower food price growth occurred across all categories in 2023. Is that a trend that will continue in 2024? USDA economist Megan Schweitzer with the department's food price outlook for this year.
We expect that trend to continue in 2024 with slower growth and more price stability across categories and potential price decreases for some categories,
such as eggs, pork, cereal and bakery products, fresh vegetables, and dairy. For comparison, overall food prices are expected to increase 1.3% in 2024. versus a 5.8% total rise in food prices last year.
We do expect price trends for food at home and food away from home to diverge, with little change expected for food at home prices, while food away from home prices continue to grow, and then higher uncertainty persists for some categories, such as eggs and meat, compared to others.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Well, innovation continues to be valued by agriculture as tools and technologies to address future challenges and opportunities. Here one final time is Rod Bain.
Science, technology, innovation, all important aspects of advancing agriculture productivity and addressing issues such as natural resources conservation. A USDA Ag Outlook Forum plenary panel offered examples of such efforts.
We're seeing a lot of programs, a lot of tools that are making real-time on-farm data accessible to farmers, and the cost of those tools continues to decrease as it becomes more common.
We're really after developing sustainable aviation fuels based on agricultural feedstocks that can basically grant that decarbonized value all the way to the final customer.
It's about generating opportunity, generating more from the same footprint, because our populations are going to grow. Our needs are going to grow.
Perspectives from Jennifer Deligan of the National Association of Conservation Districts, Paul Bloom of GEVO, and Farm Service Agency Administrator Zach Ducheneau among the panelists at this Ag Outlook Forum event. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
And finally this morning, it's FFA week, and we wanted to share with you this message from National FFA President Amara Jackson.
This week is National FFA Week, February 17th through the 24th, and FFA members from across the country are celebrating and sharing the FFA story. I'm National FFA President Amara Jackson from Michigan. On Thursday, February 22nd, you're invited to celebrate Give FFA Day, a 24-hour fundraising effort that unites the FFA community in support of the next generation of leaders who will change the world. Learn how you can help by visiting FFA.org, and be sure to share your stories during #FFA Week.
You can keep up with the latest from the world of agriculture by subscribing to the Tractors and Troubadours podcast from Rural Strong Media. Each week, I bring you agriculture industry newsmakers, hot button industry issues, educational features, and the best in traditional country music. The Tractors and Troubadours podcast can be found at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Episode 119 is out now, and we encourage you to go check it out. We talk with Mahindra USA CEO Viren Popley and Ag Revolution President and CEO Stacey Anthony during the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky. We also have music from singer-songwriter Lonnie Bartmus. Again, that can be found on episode 119 of the Tractors and Troubadours podcast, available now at ruralstrongmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. We also invite you to join us daily on Rural Strong Radio, our 24/7 streaming radio station, found at ruralstrongmedia.com or on the Live 365 streaming radio app for your mobile device. Each day, we bring you our award-winning agriculture programming, as well as the best in traditional country music, mixed in with a little bluegrass, western swing, southern rock, and inspirational music. Again, the place to find Rural Strong Radio is ruralstrongmedia.com or the Live 365 streaming radio app. We're portable, so take us with you everywhere you go while you're working on the farm or ranch. Let's get through the workday together. Well, I'll be back again tomorrow with another Rural Strong Morning Ag Report here on Steve Shetler Media. Make it a great day, everybody.